Hi, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Arsenal Fan Circle, our Sunday show where we get together and talk about all things Arsenal. On the line, this is season one, episode 13, folks. And yeah, when I typed out season one, episode 13, I was hoping it was not going to be a bad day. But here we are. And my co host is here, Gundit News. Hello, Mahir. How are you
Yes,
feeling?
Raymond.
How are
I'm
you?
feeling very dejected at the moment and angry, but we'll get into that in a minute. I just want to welcome everybody also to Arsenal Fan Circle, our first time subscribers, and those who have been with us since day one. Welcome to you all.
Okay, so let's dive right in. And today's game against Everton was going to be our first away game in this last run-in part, Mahir. And
Yes.
hi, Noe Donis. Welcome in. Thanks for coming, Noe. Feel free to vent, cry, laugh, all of the above. Anything you want to say, Noe? Yeah. I'm sorry for my language, but that was fucking embarrassing. What do you think, Mahir?
Okay, here we go. That was absolutely fucking pathetic. My language also. Absolutely shambolic. From every single player. There was absolutely no fight. No fight and no passion. At all. At all. At all. I didn't see Everton's keeper in trouble, not even once.
Yeah.
Not even one opportunity. Not one. I was just looking at stats just now. And if you guys don't believe me, go and check this out also. But we had, I think it was about 5 or 6 shots in total in the whole game. And Everton had 20, 20 or more shots. Even if they weren't on target, it was 20. 3 times, triple the times amount of opportunities that we had.
Yeah.
It was just gutless, man. It was gutless.
You need more time to vent. Can I get a word in edgeways?
Yeah, please.
So Noe and Mahir. If I didn't know any better, I thought it would have been looking at a game from last season, where the players virtually had given up last season and maybe the season before. Uh, if I didn't know any better, I thought it would be looking at an Arsene Wenger team from the last 2 years playing away from home. Absolutely embarrassing. Welcome in. We have another viewer, so please drop a comment down here. Uh, we're talking about an absolutely embarrassing result at Everton today from the Arsenal. When we had ourselves in a great position here to go on. We virtually had this. This was our game in hand that we should have done something with.
And with all the other banter clubs, now we are going to get the utmost banter from everybody else because, I mean, let's face it, we do laugh when other clubs do fumble. And when it happens to us, I mean, we only expect the worst of things from Chelsea supporters, those who shall not be named supporters, the real bad FC, which is actually Manure United. And look what's happened to us today. Emery's tactics from the get-go were absolutely off. Totally off. I don't understand why, as much as I love our coach, he changed things from a working formula to having two headless chickens. I know he's young still. We can't really put any blame on him. He needs somebody like a Torreira or a Xhaka. I mean, the same with El Nini. You play El Nini and Xhaka.
Or Ramsey.
And Torreira.
Or Ramsey. We were slightly better in the second half, but let's not disguise it. This was bad. No, he asked the question, why the heck did Ozil start?
I would love to know that. We'd have to dive into the mind of Emery to find out not only did Ozil start, Ozil was given the captain's armband. Are you?
He looked. Did you see him in the tunnel before the game? Thanks, London Old School. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, London Old School. We'll get to your statement in a second. Did you see Ozil in the tunnel at the start of the game? He looked scared. He looked.
I didn't actually see that. I was. Where did I catch up? I think I caught up on the first whistle of the game, and just before they showed the players in the tunnel, also managed to look at the lineup, and I mean, like this, you can't tell me that there was one of an Arsenal supporter that actually believed that was a team enough to beat Everton.
No, I texted you before the game. I only had confidence in 5 players in the first 11 that were picked, and those 5 players were Leno, Socrates, Monreal, Guendouzi, and Lacazette. Those are the players I had confidence in to go away from home and get a result. All of the others didn't do very well at all for me.
Like I discussed with you also, I think my choices were Leno, Socrates, Monreal, Laka. And I was also saying, since we saw the starting, why on earth have we got El Nini and Guendouzi there? What does Suarez have to do to prove himself? Like, how do we know what type of player he is, what type of position he's best suited for? He could have been the missing piece of the puzzle. You could have put Ramsey and Suarez in the middle, and we could have ended up with a brilliant result and not being so bloody angry right now, you know?
So London Old School, welcome. This is our 13th episode of our first season. It was a little bit foreboding for me to type out episode 13, and so it proved. So London Old School said, "Evening all, terrible performance, no fight and no passion. How the fuck is El Neni starting?" I agree with all of those points, London Old School. And I think a lot of what do you think, Mahir? A lot of this has to do with Napoli.
I think so too. But we take things a game at a time. Not like you're a professional footballer, right? I would say, and I'd like to know everybody else. I'm sure they'd agree as well.
Yeah, can we blame this on the Napoli game?
No, we can't necessarily blame it on that, but that's the mentality. If you're a professional football player, you should be able to go game in, game out, you understand, and fight for your place and basically show the manager, I love this club. I would do absolutely everything until my feet bleed in order to grind out a result.
Another thing I was thinking about an hour ago was, we lose 2 players in Xhaka and Koscielny, and this is our strength and depth that we have left in midfield, and we're in really bad shape if this is what it's going to be like without Koscielny if we don't adequately replace him as a defender. And Mustafi, I'm done with Mustafi for this club as well. He needs to go. He was terrible. And midfield, we're going to be really light once we lose Ramsey as well.
Walsh will be a great miss. I will not lie to you. Unfortunately, it just, his career hasn't panned out the way we would have. I mean, we love the guy. He has scored in FA Cup finals for us and won us trophies in the drought. But if you look at wages and as far as that is concerned, unfortunately, it has become a very serious issue because, even the likes of Mesut Ozil, a lot of people are Mesut in and Mesut out and all this. But you pay for, certain players should come with a pay-for-play contract, you understand? Yeah. And that's how they base their wages on. Like, so if you're not performing, you're not going to get any money. If you are performing extremely well and assisting and scoring and being up there with the best players in the league, then you get paid according. You understand?
Yes. Yeah, but I don't think that's ever going to be structured that way. Do you?
I don't think so. I don't
You
think so.
know. Now,
Uh,
London Old School said we should have played Jenkinson at right back and Ainsley Maitland-Niles in midfield with Ramsey.
that's a brilliant point. Well, we have said this before. He is not. Why? Maybe. Look, I don't want to give excuses for the players. They can talk for themselves with the actions that they produce on the pitch. But Ainsley Maitland-Niles isn't a natural right back.
No,
He
he's not.
is a midfielder.
He's not a natural right back, and we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about probably Emery's reluctance to really go for it away from home, and that includes kind of his formations and his lineups. That they're too conservative, too nervous looking. They don't really go for it like we do at home, and we have to break that mentality. Now everyone's saying we're bottlers away from home, which I don't want that to be the narrative. But the truth is that we have not a great record away from home, and we are where we are because of our home form. Everyone knows that.
From the past 8 games away from home, right? I was just looking at like a table, and it showed that we've lost to Liverpool and we've lost to City. We can understand, right?
Understand those
We lost
two.
to Southampton.
Yeah.
We lost to West Ham.
West Ham, which is a similar result to today.
Exactly, and we lost now to Everton. We've drawn. I think it was we drew 2 games also. I'm not sure exactly who the teams were. I think it was
Tottenham.
Crystal Palace and somebody else. Tottenham and somebody else.
Yeah.
But there's no excuses really for no passion. It's not a loss that angers us. The actual thing that angers us is the effort, the lack of effort. I mean, do they not want Champions League football?
They have to want Champions League football. They have to, but very much what happens on the field can be dictated by the coach in terms of substitutions. If you put a tall player, if you put a tall striker on, the coach is pretty much telling the team that he wants to put crosses into the box. You know, that kind of way. So I think the players take their cue from the coach. And if you put out a weak-looking team, which we talked about even before the game, that it looked weak, light in midfield, then that's what we're going to get a result like this. And why don't you play with 2 up top to start with? You know what I mean?
You know, the thing is, what I was thinking was, I mean, if it's as clear as day, how does Emery not understand that if you're going to play one of the two, either El Nini or Guendouzi, right?
Yeah.
You need a force in the midfield. Unfortunately, Torreira is still suspended. This was his last game for the 3-match ban that he was given, right?
Yeah.
And Xhaka, I think Xhaka is injured if I'm not mistaken.
Xhaka is injured, yes, as is Koscielny. They have very light strains, and they probably will be back for the Napoli game.
My only thing is, if you're taking it a game at a time, if you're a true manager, if you're a real manager, you'll understand that you'll take it a game at a time. You won't be thinking right ahead. Yes, I understand Ramsey did suffer a light ego before the game now that we play today. But he is going to Juventus, and I mean, he is on the bench. If he did suffer an injury, he wouldn't have even been available from the bench. So why not start him? Like, if you look at it, your common sense will tell you El Nini and Guendouzi cannot be put together. Your common sense is telling you, right, Ramsey is leaving, Ramsey wants to play, Ramsey has been on form. Why not you put Ramsey there? Suarez has been crying out for a start, and unless we play him, we're not going to know what position he plays, whether or not we must sign him on a permanent deal for 20 million. Why not play the two of them in midfield? That's where they do play, right?
Yeah, with hindsight, we could see now that they would not have done any worse than what we already did today in midfield.
Exactly my point.
And Ainsley Maitland-Niles struggled today. London Old School said so. His direct opponent, I think, was Richarlison, right? No, that's on the left-hand
Oh,
side. Who was his? Bernard was his opponent, I think.
Bernard
And
was tearing him to shreds.
you could see early on in the game that we were not winning those tackles that you need. Even the second tackles, the ball kept coming back to Everton players.
Put the player in an unnatural position, right? Against somebody like Richarlison or Bernard.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to happen that they are going to get torn to shreds.
To shreds. No, he has said he can't believe that Mustafi's a World Cup winner because he doesn't play like one. And I would tag in Ozil in the same breath as well. It's just
How on earth did we spend 35 million on Mustafi, thinking this guy was going to be the solution? I think at the same time, Virgil van Dijk was available for the same price, if I'm not mistaken, or
yeah.
even less.
Yeah, Mustafi. Everyone knows we have to move him on this summer, right? There's nobody.
Please get him out.
And
No, please get him out tomorrow. Get him out tomorrow. I want him gone tomorrow.
we probably would have been better off if we'd gone with a flat back four as well.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't understand Emery's fascination with chopping and changing. We beat United. We beat United with a very. Could we not have used that and just copy and paste? I understand Torreira's missing. I understand Xhaka is missing. Rob Holding, Koscielny.
Yeah,
all of our
we have
players.
been decimated by injuries as well, and this is one of those games where we were caught out due to our lack of squad depth. But we have a fourth person in the comments. If you want to just say hello, that's good. Drop a question, or just keep watching. But welcome. We have 5 people in. This is great. Drop a comment. Say hello, everybody. I thought Bernd Leno. Let's start from the goalkeeper out. I thought Bernd Leno, and we're going to do a player ratings, guys. Bernd Leno played a really, really good game. He kept us in the game for a long time, right till the end. He kept us in the game. What does everyone think about Bernd Leno? He is our goalkeeper moving forward next season.
Yes, he should definitely be number one. We should be looking at number two soon when the window opens. But personally, I would give him an 8. He's my man of the match.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. 8 out of 10.
He's our man of the match because otherwise we could have been 4-5-0 down.
Hi, Ian Babber. Thank you for joining us. I think you're new to the channel. We do appreciate you coming. We do this every Sunday and sometimes Saturdays at around 7 p.m. UK time. Ian Babber, what did you think of the game? Let us know. Let's move then to the back three. I thought Socrates had a very good game. I would give him probably 7 out of 10 for Socrates. He got involved in a few things, and I think Kevin Friend was not our friend today, the referee, at all. What do you think, Gundy?
Mustafi.
Socrates
saved Mustafi's ass on multiple occasions. I can more than 2 handfuls of times. Mustafi was saved by the fact that Socrates was where he was.
Yeah.
And putting in slide tackles and showing just, that leadership mentality that, like, we've discussed it so many times. Make Socrates our captain if he's with us next season. Please, by all means.
Socrates should be our captain for next season. Ian, London Old School, and Noe, what would you rate Socrates? for his performance today. He ran the tightrope a little bit. Noe's given him a 7. London Old School's given him a 7. And Ian, if you just want to keep watching, that's also great. Listen, Monreal has been a very, very consistent player for me. I like Monreal. I think we should keep him from another year. But I think he had a pretty solid game as well. He was a little bit frustrated by the midfield in front of him, not giving him the cover that he needed. But I would give Monreal a 7 out of 10, and it's probably a generous score, I know. But I didn't think he did too much wrong.
What would I give Monreal? I would actually give
Nacho Monreal.
Nacho, I will give him a 4. I was quite disappointed today. Certain half of the Arsenal supporters will say he didn't have a bad game, and the other half will say he was poor. One of the poorest players on the pitch is the reason why I'm unfortunately giving him a 4 for this game.
You're giving him 4. That is bad.
Yep.
I thought Monreal did not do so badly that he should get a 4 out of 10. Let me know what you all think down there in the comments.
Please do.
London Old School is 6 out of 10 from London Old School. Noe said Noe thinks that he's going to Real Sociedad next year, which will be a big miss for him. And our new viewers, let us know what you thought about Monreal as well.
I mean, normally it's Mr. Consistency. That's why I was so disappointed, and that's why the rating is so low. Because, I mean, can you expect anything with that midfield? I'm sorry to go over and over with it, but there's no cover. So the likes of Richarlison and Bernard, who are very pacey wingers, were just like, okay, let's just bomb down the left-hand side or right-hand side. We can just bomb down and create chances.
I think when Kolasinac hears that he's in a back, like there's a back 3, that he feels he has no defensive responsibilities at all. What do you think about that, Maher? He was bombing forward too much.
I fully agree with you on that. I that's why we don't understand that part of the game either. If it is a back 4, it's, you know, like you say, it's very solid. I love a back 4. When I see a back 3 and I look at the people that are in the back 3 that are covering and the team you're going against, that's when I start to worry. Because, I mean, Ainsley Maitland-Niles was getting torn apart. On the other side, Nacho was getting torn apart. To be honest with you guys, like, when I was seeing this, I was like, you know, this back three it's very dangerous. Especially when it comes to games where you need to be very wary of the wingers.
Exactly. I feel like when you're in the back 4, everybody knows what they have to do defensively. I think we have some players in the back 3 like Kolasinac, who's not quite sure if he's going to defend or if Monreal is going to cover him for him all the time. And we were just not in a position where our midfield could hold up. And so Everton kept recycling the ball. They were playing it down the left and down the right, and our fullbacks were getting caught out. And Mustafi, let's come on to Mustafi now. I'm going to give Mustafi 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 for Mustafi. Because I want him out of this club now.
Been good enough for Arsenal. He's never been. He's not even a championship player, and he signed for 35 million. And if you want to add up all of his wages, can I give you the grand total that we paid for Mustafi? Yeah. Would you like to hear that?
Yeah, I would like to know how much we paid for him. Are you talking about as many years as we've had him?
We have paid in total, guys, 50 to 60 million for Mustafi.
Yeah, and wages and everything, right?
Wages, the amount that we paid for him to come to the club, yeah. How ridiculous isn't that? Please, guys, I'd love to hear from you.
No, he said he's a back four type of guy as well. Gundit, and a few other comments. Skip over, and then Ian Baber. Ian, Everton targeted the left side in the first half. Mustafi, 1 out of 10 from London Old School for Mustafi. Noe gives 2 out of 10 for Mustafi, and Ian. Yeah.
That was a 1 out of 10.
Ian, Ian, thanks for joining us. You're making some great comments. Mustafi makes the same mistakes every game. I mean, it's like I could say that myself. I think exactly the same way as you do, Ian. Mustafi continually makes the same mistakes, and he just clears balls. He's not able to play it out from the back like a Bellerin can from that position, you know. But this is very disappointing. Let's go to Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the right side of the five. And I thought that he got a little bit gassed toward the end of the game, but he put in a decent show. He tried really hard, but I would give him 5 out of 10 for that performance. And Noe has given Mustafi a -2 out of 10. Oh, you're right. Noe, I didn't see the -2. It's a -2. You just like to throw me off there, Noe, don't you? Ian and London Old School and Noe, what did you think of Ainsley Maitland-Niles? Hi, Jill. Thanks for coming in. Jill gets.
You're welcome.
Jill is my wife, so she's boosting the top chats to 5. Thank you, Jill.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
So yeah, she's part of the family and friends discount.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ian said that Ainsley Maitland-Niles was sloppy today. I have to agree with you. London Old School 3 out of 10 for Ainsley, and Noe 4 out of 10. No minuses. I think Mustafi might be the only one that gets a minus from Noe. You know.
Yeah, I'm also going with a 3 out of 10 for Ainsley. It's really sloppy. Like,
so
you can't. Yeah, man.
So that's well, we're gonna round it out with the back five with Kolasinac next. I love his beard. He's got a perfectly trimmed, a manicured beard, but I don't care about his beard. He's got to play better than that. And he actually, I did hope that he would give us some creativity down the left-hand side because he is pretty good at crossing, but he didn't really have much opportunity to do that. And I think he went missing for large parts of the game, Kolasinac.
A very large part, like a large part, like, geez Louise, man. As much as I love the tank, as he's called.
The tank. Kolasinac, the tank. Ratings, please.
If you forget about your defensive duties, my friend, I cannot rate you. As much as I love you, I cannot rate you if you're not creating. If you're not, and you forget your defensive duties, like you're letting the whole team down. You understand?
Yeah.
No cover for the back three. Not even a back four, a back three.
Especially when we didn't have a decent midfield. You know, you need Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, and Kolasinac to tuck in, and they just didn't do it for us today. London Old School's giving Kolasinac a 4 out of 10.
I'm going with London Old School on that, 4 out of 10 as well.
And I think my wife has gone back to working, so she might have just kicked out there. Ian, thanks for staying with us. I hope you're enjoying the show, Ian. Join up with our regulars, say hello, and participate. So lovely. All right, let's get into El Neni, a player who, you know, he's limited. We all know El Neni's a limited player. I actually don't hate the player, but I think we can do better, and we have to move him on in the summer. 5 out of 10 for Kolasinac from Noe. Ian, London Old School and Noe, what did you think of El Neni? Go, Gundit.
Okay, yes, Alnini hasn't really done anything wrong. It wasn't his fault we signed him. It was a panic buy, though. It was a panic buy, and Alnini also hasn't been good enough. He's never been good enough for Arsenal. It was a panic buy. It was to shut us up.
It was a panic buy. It was. Does anyone know when what season? I know it was January when we bought El Neni. And what year was it? Was it the uh, the was it the Leicester year when Leicester went on to win the league, or when did we?
Yeah,
Why did we need him?
year.
You know,
I
Ian.
mean, it was for coverage once again. As we do not have squad depth. And at that time, maybe Wenger thought, okay, let me shut you guys up because you keep asking me why haven't we bought anybody? Why have we left it till the last minute?
Remember,
so I'm just going to buy this. It's almost like Kim Kallstrom.
Exactly. I was just going to say, remember Kim Kallstrom. So this is a pattern we've seen in the previous manager. Maybe he buys players for 5 million, 4 million, just for defensive cover. It might have been African nations cup going on that we needed that cover. Thanks, Ian. 2016, he thinks. Hey, so happy you could join us, Ian. We have Noe, we have London Old School, and you can join the group now. This is great. Hey, if you're not already a subscriber, consider subscribing as well, Ian. Love to have you on board. And Ian thinks that El Neni should be sold. Noe gives 1 out of 10 for El Neni, and London Old School a 2 out of 10 for El Neni.
I'm also gonna have to go with a 2, just because El Neni isn't really to blame for not playing, but he's just never been good enough, man. Like
everyone knows.
As humble as he is, though.
Everyone knows what kind of player El Neni is, and he's never going to be the type of player like even a Xhaka, or a Ramsey. He's very much a defensive player. And London Old School asks, I hear, what was the point? What was the point of loaning Suarez? So I think that's something you're passionate about as well.
London Old School, I love that question, guys. Keep your questions coming in for Raymond and myself. I will answer it with passion. You're right. What was the point of selling? What was the point of even loaning Suarez if we're not going to play him to see what type of player he is, what's his best position? And, I mean, for the amount of 20 million, which is actually a bargain, imagine we could get an absolute steal of a player for our midfield, and he can play right across. He can play on left wing, right wing, and in the midfield with somebody like Torreira or Xhaka. How will we know what type of player we've got?
Yeah.
If he isn't getting played at all, not being brought off the bench, anything, he's sitting there. He's probably sitting on the sideline. Very dejected. Like, what?
Why
am I even here?
Now he has the answer to you. Now he has the answer to that question. He says, for the outro of Arsenal videos, LOS, London Old School. So you ever see El Neni at the end of the Arsenal videos where they say subscribe or whatever, That's pretty funny. Thanks, Noe.
That least cheered me up. Thanks, Noe. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Ian, London Old School, and Noe. We're going to talk about Guendouzi next. A player that I had some confidence in. He will bring energy to the midfield, but he needs a good partner in there in midfield. I feel for him to excel, and I think that he was running around, like you say, like a headless chicken as well. So I'm going to give Guendouzi 4 out of 10 because, and I didn't like the way the referee handed out that booking so early as well. I've seen so many games for Tottenham, Manchester United, Chelsea, they all run that line, and then the referee keeps talking to them until probably the 70th minute. They don't get booked until then. But Guendouzi got booked in the fifth minute for a tackle on Dina. So what did you think of
Yeah, I think
Guendouzi here?
you know what? I'm willing to give this guy time. I mean, he was relatively like he was unknown to us. Something like when we got Torreira, but he was, he likes bombing forward, and unfortunately, him like Kolasinac don't provide enough cover for the back, especially when there's a back three.
Yeah.
And he likes bombing forward like a lot. He seems to want to be almost a Ramsey style player where he gives the defensive duties to Torreira and he wants to run at defenses like a box to box.
Yeah, I feel he was hung out to dry a little bit. He needs an experienced midfield partner that's going to help him through a game. And London Old School said there's a lot of pressure on Guendouzi, 5 out of 10, because he was one of a two in there, and I think they were overrun a little bit.
I'd also give him a 5 out of 10 because effort is there. He does show that. I just wish he was less rash when it comes to decision making and less sloppy. But I mean, he's very young still. He will learn the trade.
Yeah, well, it's frustrating when you have a referee who's willing to book our players. And maybe I'm just biased here. Of course, we all are. You see Manchester United, you see Tottenham players, you see Liverpool players. They get away with so much fouling, and it's just the referee doesn't go to the pocket for cards. So no, he has given 4 out of 10 for Guendouzi. And Ian, let me know what you thought about Guendouzi as well, Ian. But yeah, it's just frustrating that that referee, he didn't give us anything, and we'll review the game pretty much after we go through all of the ratings as well, really quickly. But let's move on then to Ozil, and I was willing to give Ozil a chance in this away game, knowing that he's been playing quite well in the team that had been playing quite well. This Arsenal team had been playing quite well. We beat Manchester United recently. We beat Newcastle recently. I thought Ozil would step up and help the team, but I was very, very disappointed in his. His body language is always going to be what it is, but I was disappointed in his quality and his effort, and I would give him 3 out of 10 for Mesut Ozil. Let me know, Ian, and London Old School, and Noe, what you thought about Ozil. And Ozil is our most creative player when he's playing well, when he's allowed to play well. He is our most creative player, but he is one player who divides opinion a lot amongst Arsenal supporters. And Ian has said that Ozil was playing too deep today. And I can get behind that, Ian, because he didn't have a midfield that was going to help him pretty much. He had to work in there as well, and that's really not his game as well. So this was probably not the game for Ozil. It's starting to. I have to see till the end of the season, and you can let me know as well, Mahir, what you think in a second. I have to see to the end of the season if we can actually use Ozil away from home next season in a lot of games. But now he has given him 4 out of 10, and London Old School has given him 3 out of 10. So we're all about the same. Finally, what do you think, Mahir, about Ozil?
Okay. Ozil is supposed to be our star man. He is supposed to be our linchman. Ever since Alexis left, and
a talisman.
I don't know if this is maybe he's the talisman. Yeah. Ever since Alexis left, I don't know if he saw it as a way to take advantage. Boost up his the image of himself and how much wages he's getting paid, and he just has not performed, to be honest with you. And I'm so sick and tired of this guy. He's supposed to be like he's our highest paid player at the moment on big wages. And a lot of people say the wages thing does not matter, but you're supposed to get paid for your consistency and the quality of what type of player you are. So it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm giving him a 3. No effort today. The only effort I saw was when he threw his jacket, apparently on an Everton staff or the Everton coach or something, trying to defend Unai. That was the only effort.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm giving him a 3 and not a 2.
Yeah. Let's get into that. What did everyone think about the throwing the jacket or the coat toward the Everton staff in that incident? Was it at Emery? Maybe I'm being too controversial saying that, but probably it was just at the Everton staff who were getting upset at what happened. That was a professional foul in the 82nd minute by Mustafi.
Raymond, if you look, no? If any of the Gooners look, any of us look, and actually what was happening was, if you look at the Everton coaching staff, they were actually in Emery's face. Like, I noticed this immediately. They were in Emery's face for some reason. And Emery was getting a bit riled up. So I don't know if I think Ozil tried to throw a jacket, like to say, hey, listen here, that's my manager. Don't get on his case before I get down from the bench, which we do know nothing will obviously happen. It won't get physical, but it's almost a gesture to say, listen here, that's my coach. Don't be getting up in his face before something happens, you know?
Yeah. No, I think Ian has said he didn't think it was at Emery. So I'm kind of I think you're right there as well. No, he said he thought it was hilarious, but that's just him. And then London Osco thought it was arrogant from Ozil, but it was funny. You know, professional fouls happen every game, and for Silva to get really upset like that, I'm happy that Mustafi, that was the one thing he did all day, which I was happy about, that he took the player out. We have not seen enough of that from our defenders over the last few years. We have been quite generous in letting players go past us. I'm quite happy that we can take a professional foul here and there. You know, it just speaks to our stickability. And let's remember we lost just 1-0, and it was kind of a scrappy goal from a long throw in. We cannot count on the officials to catch everything. But they did say it was.
Can we just discuss what happened with that long throw?
Okay,
because
so
apparently it wasn't supposed to be allowed because of some reason.
Yeah, well, on a long throw, you're supposed to not have your foot inside the field of play when you're throwing the ball. So his foot was clearly in past the line, and so it would have been deemed foul throw. And who knows what would have happened if they brought it back, you know? The same sequence of events would not have happened.
And because I wonder, it happened, you know, it happened at least twice. And I mean, even the commentator was saying, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, clearly whoever it was that took the throw, the throw wasn't taken properly, because you're saying the foot was over the line. I was like, and then why are they not pulling it back? They're just allowing it to go. And then, I mean, if lucky's on your side, lucky's on your side. They took the goal.
It still doesn't excuse that we couldn't defend that situation. But we still have not conceded from a corner this season. But we still have not kept a clean sheet away from home, which doesn't augur well for the rest of our away games, especially if we're so anemic up front. You know,
Mustafi might just be the leading defender in errors leading to goals this entire season and seasons past, probably.
Very possible. I could think of a few already, like the one at Wembley that led to that penalty. What did everyone think about Mkhitaryan? You want to start on that one?
On the game, though.
Yeah, he didn't have an effect on the game. He sparked a little bit in the second half where when he cut inside and had that shot that was curling toward the post. But
Oh, I wish that had gone in. That would have been such a beautiful goal.
and I didn't know truthfully when Iwobi was coming on if it was going to be Ozil or Mkhitaryan that got the hook, and it could have been either one of them anyway. Ian has said Mkhitaryan was rubbish. I would go. I would say 2 out of 10, folks. I would give Mkhitaryan 2 out of 10. I wondered if he was going to come back to
I'm going
form.
with you on this one as well.
He's played quite
2 out
well
of
the
10,
last
unfortunately.
few months. He's played quite well, but it seems like Mkhitaryan plays in fits and starts, and maybe he's going out of form soon. So let's maybe start Suarez, get him into the side. You know,
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what type of player we have until we actually play. Until Emily actually says, "That my son, go there."
Yeah.
That left hand side is an aging Mkhitaryan. There's nobody really else there. We want to play Aubameyang and Laka
Right.
up front.
right. And
Go there, my son. Make that position yours. Do you understand?
yeah, I think also Emery is being so cautious with this season. Rightly so. We've got so many points that we have as many points right now as we got all of last season, and we have 6 games left. But he's also being cautious. He's not playing Ainsley Maitland-Niles in midfield. He's not playing Suarez in the team. He's been so cautious with everything. I feel like he needs. Maybe he will have learned from this result. He needs to open things up a little bit more and to be more proactive, like we are at home. We have no fears. We go forward. I think we have to open things up for the rest of the campaign. These last 6 games that we have, you know.
Raymond, wouldn't you agree with me? Sometimes we need to take risks. I mean, in life in general,
Yeah.
sometimes you take a risk or a gamble and it pays out extravagantly. I don't use the word extravagantly a lot, but extravagantly.
It's a new word for you, extravagantly. It's a nice word.
Yes, and it pays out extravagantly.
Extravagant
Now,
Arsenal. Extravagant Emery. There, double E.
Exactly. Imagine he plays Suarez, right? And Suarez turns out to be that winger that we need. And guess what? He takes another risk and decides one game, okay, I'm going to put Suarez in the middle with Torreira. I'm just picturing it. I'm just picturing it now, and it panning out. It would be so beautiful to watch. It would bring tears to our eyes.
And
Don't you agree?
this is a game, when you mentioned Torreira, this is a game that we sorely missed him in,
Oh my goodness.
Like
Torreira would have controlled that midfield, and he would have ripped apart the likes of whoever's coming that way. If it's Richarlison, if it's Richarlison, or if it's Theo, or whoever, just say, nah, this isn't your home, bro.
This is the repercussion of the Danny Rose tackle, which was so tame, and there has been tackles like that since that have gone unpunished. There was tackles in that Wembley game against Leno himself that went on to unpunished. So we're kind of feeling it. I don't know if we would have had a different result if Torreira had played, but who knows?
You see, that's just the thing about players losing their head sometimes, or referees just being. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of these Premier League referees are absolutely atrocious and should be punished for stupid decisions. That's why VAR is going to be introduced.
They're very arrogant. Does anyone know if VAR comes in, if a foul throw will be like such that goal that went in, if that would be reviewed under VAR for the throw in? Would they go back that far?
We'd love to know about that. We would love to know about that as well, because
Ian,
another thing that they would include, is also has an impact on the game.
Ian is checking out right now. Thanks, Ian. Please join us another time next week. Subscribe. Think about subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. But we do appreciate you coming in, Ian, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, it's very much appreciated. All the love and support from all of our subscribers, new and the ones that have been with us since day one.
Yeah. Thanks, Ian. We will hopefully see you on another show next week or the week after. Every week we do it at the same time. So Noe had said, "Why do we have the worst officials in the world?"
Oh, I'd love to know
Cheers,
that.
mate. Cheers, Ian. Ian just subbed, so thumbs up.
Oh, lovely. Thumbs up. Have a nice Ian for the rest of the week. Thank you for joining the family.
Welcome to the family. Hopefully, we see you next week. Okay, and hopefully, we'll get some better results for you for Arsenal. You know, why do we have the worst officials, my here, in the Premier League? And will VAR improve it? I think we've mentioned before, VAR will not improve it.
VAR is you know what? It will pick up a lot of these stupid decisions that the refs make, but at the same time, it might take away talk points. You know, a lot of podcasts and stuff. We come up with things on the go. You know, we don't necessarily have them on paper and ready. We just come up with them. You know, like it's almost like a freestyle. We come up with them as it comes into our head. We mention it in the podcast, so it may take away talking points. Then again, it may be an advantage because stupid decisions that refs make and goals that are deemed like offside and foul throws, and those will be put into consideration and will have a positive impact on the game. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, for example, that Cardiff goal was Cardiff versus Chelsea. We they equalized and it was a mile offside.
Yeah.
Goals like that won't be given, which means there's
a
possibility.
You know what somebody should do, but it would get to ridiculous levels? Somebody should show what the league table would look like now if VAR had been introduced this year.
Oh, that would be hell of interesting.
Wouldn't it?
I would love to look at that. Matter of fact, that's actually a great idea. That possibly, you know, towards the end of the season, we could even look at. I mean, we could go over them and be like, you know, the goal from the Cardiff versus Chelsea game.
Yeah.
This game, that was a mile offside. So maybe if that hadn't happened, Cardiff would have gone on to maybe score a second goal and win the game 2-0, which would have resulted in Chelsea dropping 3 points.
I believe Chelsea may have, and this is just me being biased again, Chelsea may have been favoured a lot with not catching on VAR. They may have gotten a lot of goals. Also, your lovely Liverpool might have been in different results at Southampton, but for Mr. Mo was offside, wasn't he? Clearly offside.
But that's just the thing. VAR is going to take away the back of the door, which helps us. I would say it's a 70-30 split because it helps clubs 70% of the time, and 30% of the time it actually hinders. Like, we've seen so many offside goals, it's unbelievable. But I mean, I was watching a review. We are Arsenal supporters, but we are football lovers. We love football. We love the game. So let me give you a prime example. Liverpool, I was watching a review, and do you know how lucky Liverpool have gotten? Like, do you know how lucky they are to have been fighting
against Everton,
tap-ins,
against Tottenham, Everton and Tottenham.
Goalkeeping mistakes.
Liverpool should win the league. If it goes by luck, Liverpool will win the league if it goes that way. You can see they have the luck that has been going for them. London also said.
I'm sure you've seen it also. Like the amount of tap-ins and stuff that Liverpool have gotten. The goalkeeper punches it out, doesn't punch it far enough. It rebounds off him. And somebody's there like Mo Salah to finish off, you know?
If you look at what happened with Tottenham last Sunday, Alderweireld is there ready to clear the ball because it rebounded off him. He's got time to clear it off the line. He doesn't because he feels like the goalkeeper gets in his way and it just rolls over the line. And Liverpool win that game. When, we hate Tottenham for sure. I'm happy for the result. But Tottenham probably deserved the draw out of that game, you know. London Osco said the refs want to be the centre of attention, and Noe has said, let's get on to Aubameyang and Lacazette next because he said they need to perform better away. They're so inconsistent away from home. Let's talk about Lacazette because he got the start. Didn't have the service, didn't play well. He didn't. He only had that header that I remember, and he didn't really have many. Didn't have many chances either. Which is frustrating.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I mean, at home, and the two of them combined, right? Aubameyang and Lacazette. If you guys didn't know, they actually have contributed towards. I think right now it's sitting at about 50 goals and 20 assists.
Yeah.
In total for all competitions.
Yeah.
If you actually think about that, that's all of our goals, which is absolutely ridiculous that our midfielders haven't taken advantage of adding on to that. And, the likes of Ozil, why his assist isn't up in the sky, above the clouds, basically. So I'd have to rate Lacazette. I'd probably give him this game a very generous 6.
Oh, you give a Lacazette a 6 out of 10, even though he didn't get any service to justify that score.
Sorry. I just rethought it now. It's actually being dropped to an average of 5. So okay. Just 5.
All right. You could have stuck to your guns. You should have stuck.
But I just rethought it now and actually thought what opportunities did Lacazette actually go. So he was based on an average. He was basically average today.
Yeah, I was very happy when Michael Keane was out due to sickness, and we are going to have a 37-year-old Phil Jagielka coming in. But he got himself the man of the match because of our poor performance. Our terrible performance.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, my good friend and the host of Arsenal Fan Circle said Jagielka it's better having Jagielka than Keane, than a youngster. And Jagielka scored. I was like, just our luck. Just our luck today, man.
It's very Arsenal, really. You have a player who gets a start because of injury, and we sort of say, go ahead, have yourself a goal on us. We gift you this goal. You could be man of the match at 37 years old. Terrible.
I had no idea he was 37 years old, which is crazy.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Aubameyang. I actually thought Aubameyang should have started this game myself, that he could have been able to latch on to some of the passes Ozil made, but in any case, we understand Ozil didn't play well, didn't have much of the ball, and we didn't have the midfield that we could build on. And I think it all starts from the back. If you have to play 3 at the back, then you're losing something in midfield, and you're not going to get the service into the forwards. And our forwards can score goals. So Emery kind of got in the way of himself today. What do you think, Gundit?
I don't understand why he didn't play the two of them up front one time, because say for example you are saving the players for Napoli, right?
Yeah.
And everybody watching, say you are saving them for Napoli on Thursday.
Yeah.
Why not start absolute firepower from the get-go, get 2, 3, 4 goals?
Yeah.
Okay, let's be realistic. 3
goals.
goals.
2 goals.
Get 2 goals. and take him off and rest him until the game at Napoli.
Yeah. 2 goals is realistic.
Why not do that?
You start with Ramsey, start with Aubameyang with Lacazette. Don't have El Neni in there. Maybe don't have Mustafi in there. Put them on the subs bench. If you need to defend, that if you need to go from a 4 to a 3, then do it. You know, get the 2 goals. Get the 2. Does anyone think that Emery may have learned from this result for our remaining 4 away games in the league? Does anyone think that he's going to improve? Does anyone think that he's going to pick a different kind of team that will be more attack-minded? I think that he might.
Oh, versus Napoli, believe you me, he's going to start Ramsey.
Well, let's talk.
Together.
We'll talk about Napoli in a moment, but I'm just saying, do you think Emery, and he is a good tactical coach, do you think he will have learned from this away game? For the
Raymond, what do you think? What do you think? I'd love to hear from Noe, London Old School, everybody else in the chat. Super chat. I'd love to hear, but I'd love to hear from you also.
Yeah, and just so you know, London Old School said agree, start your best team from the start. But yeah, I think Emery's going to learn from this result. He's going to see we need to be better going forward. We can't be thinking defensively. We only have those 2 home games. If we win those 2 home games, that's 69 points. We're going to need probably 7 to 10 points from the last 4. Probably 7 points would be enough for me. That would get us to 76 points. Finishing on 76 points, I think. I think he will have learned a lot from today. Learned the limitations of the team and learned how we should be more on the front foot away from home. Because, Emery's not going to be judged only on home form, which has been fantastic. I think he's also going to be judged on our away form. And we need to win probably 3 out of these 4 games for him to be judged more favorably away from home. So we have Wolverhampton, Watford, Leicester, and Burnley. And let me just
based on home form, we are sorry to cut you off, right?
Go.
Based on home form, we are only second best to Liverpool.
Yes. And London Old School says, I think he learned a hard lesson today. Hopefully we'll learn from today. And we underestimated Everton. A team who was in form, and they had won the last 2 games before that, and with clean sheets. And now he says if we're going to make top 4, we need to start Ozil, in his opinion. We can play. You take those points, Gundit.
By any means, we'll have very mixed opinions on whether or not we should be playing Ozil. Whether or not Ozil is good enough for our club, though. Like, can we get better? I'm sure we could possibly get a better replacement. There was a bunch of names that was mentioned this afternoon, right after the game, where I was like, it's actually mad if you think about it. I mean, they speak about Ozil being a marketing machine. That's where a lot of our money comes from because they buy these shirts, Ozil on the back. But there are other players, younger players, better players who could fill that gap easily. So it's I don't know what to honestly think. If you ask me, I would say if we can find a better player, by all means, sell Ozil so you can find those better players who probably have a greater chance for becoming something great at Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean that whole Ozil question is going to be difficult in the summer. Firstly, do we want to move him on? And secondly, if we do want to move him on, will he want to start a new challenge? Will he want to leave Arsenal? which I think the answer to the second part of the question is I don't think he wants to leave Arsenal. So,
Nope.
but
Would you want to leave your company if you're being paid 350,000 every single week?
no, no. In a word, no. London Old School. I'm assuming Watford beat Wolverhampton Wanderers today. London
Yeah,
Old School. So they are into the final. Watford are playing Manchester City in the final. And a shout out to James Rowe, who had told me before that he has a friend who's a Watford fan. So I think the whole world, except for one country, will be backing Watford in the FA Cup next month.
I was actually backing Wolves. If you ask me personally, because I feel like Wolves is a good side though. Like they've got some good players. I mean, their coach. I mean, even he's a lovable guy.
Nuno's a lovable guy, but it seems like their bubble is starting to burst a little bit for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yeah. And what worried me a little bit was after this game, they interviewed Seamus Coleman, who is an Irish international, but he played quite well today. But he mentioned that Everton were motivated to get that number 7 in the league, and they are fighting Wolverhampton Wanderers, Watford, and Leicester. And these are 3 teams that we have to play as well. So
they're very hungry. Everton wanted it more. Unfortunately, we have to take the L, and we'll just have to accept all the banter that comes with that L. But they wanted it more. There was no passion, like we discussed. There was no passion. There was no fight. They wanted it more, and they deserved the win.
Yeah, so, let's take the L on the chin, move forward, and understand that the scrap for number 7, 7th place in the league is on. And
yes, they want Europa League. I mean, who doesn't want to go from bottom to top of the table in order to get Europa football? I mean, European football, which is only second best to Champions League.
And this is the danger. We're going to play Wolverhampton Wanderers, Watford, and Leicester all away from home, and they all want that spot. So we cannot take anything lightly. We have to take care of our business, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, first before worrying about what the other results are.
So just to recap the whole game, I'll have my say, and then everyone else can say something. I think Bernd Leno played quite well. He's our number 1 keeper going into next season. It's quite evident we need a commanding centre back to go alongside Socrates. I would keep Monreal at the club for another year. Mustafi can go, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles needs to get his opportunity in midfield. Kolasinac will probably stay at the club for another year. El-Neni should go, and Guendouzi needs a couple of strong midfielders around him to help him. We have good strikers, and we just need to find maybe a good midfielder that's going to replace Ramsey. Hopefully, Emile Smith-Rowe can do that. It doesn't seem like Emery is confident in younger players at this point. And we have 2 strikers who are lethal when they're given the service. So let's put it down to a bad day and we move on, and then we'll talk about the Napoli game after this. But what did you think, Mahir, overall, to summarize this game?
Okay, overall summary. Bernd Leno is definitely going to be our number 1 keeper, like you say. For next season, I would look to maybe find another backup, as the other keepers are a little bit inexperienced in playing in the league. And King will be staying at Napoli, Ospina. And then let's go to the backline. Backline, I think we need a commanding centre back to pair Socrates with, whether that be young or inexperienced centre back. But like, he needs to be world class quality. He needs to be a world beater. And then if you're looking to replace Ramsey, I would say there are quite a few options available for that. We need a pacey winger who can go up and down that wing and provide much needed worth. Selling El Nini, selling Jenkinson, selling Mustafi. I wouldn't give Welbeck exactly another year on his contract because he just it hasn't panned out. He has scored some beautiful goals for us that have been vital, and it's just unfortunate that he suffered an injury. And a third choice striker. That's about it. Who knows if Emil Smith-Rowe can be part of the midfield or that third choice striker that we desperately need. But I would have to go look out for someone like Emil Forsberg, for example, from RB Leipzig, or I think that's about it. The summary for the game.
No, he said
our strikers need to be more clinical.
Yeah, no, he said overall this performance was shocking. So in some ways it's good to have a show a few hours after the game, but in other ways you kind of get desensitized and you don't feel as mad as you were on the full-time whistle. So definitely.
I mean, I'm sure you all heard in the sound of my voice at the beginning of this podcast, at the beginning of our podcast, how angry I was, and I went on for about 15, 20 minutes. But guys, that's just passion.
We
hear it in the sound of my voice how much we love our club.
I think London Old School hit the nail on the head when he said, bad performance, and the main thing was no passion, no drive, no will to win. And I was watching a thing about Belichick in the NFL, and he said there's an old Chinese saying that the battle is won before you even cross the line, before you even go to battle. Every war is won before you go to battle.
Before you even put a foot on the field.
It's in your head.
The battle is won or lost.
It's in your head. It's in your mentality. If you want to show up for that day, it's something that is inside everyone, and we just need to. Those players need to find it. Well, let's move on quickly. I know, Noe. I asked if we were confident about Napoli on Thursday, and we will be playing at home in the first leg. So, what do you think, Undid, about Thursday night versus Napoli?
I'm shaky, especially considering what happened today. So, I will go a very optimistic answer, like I love that you have that enthusiasm about you. So I'll say 2-1 to us.
2-1. Oh, I didn't even ask for a score prediction, but I got it. All right. I think I think we took the eye off the ball today. I wondered in my preview, I think it was, or when I was talking earlier, I wondered if many of the players were looking to the Napoli game as a bigger game for them than today. I definitely think the coach felt the same way. We had given ourselves some breathing room, and we lost it today. So we don't have that breathing room anymore. We don't have the extra game in the league. I think this was managing your squad to try to fight on two fronts, and I think Emery is really focused on Napoli now. Of course, if you're a coach who has won the Europa League 3 times, I think it was the last 3 times or 3 times in a row, you're going to want to enhance your reputation further by winning it another time. So I think he's putting most of his eggs. I think he's putting most of his eggs into the Europa League. It seems that way to me. Yes, we did have injuries, but he could have started a stronger team with Ramsey and with Aubameyang and gone for it at the start. London Old Schools feels that we will beat Napoli 3-1 at home. And I think I want to mirror what London Old School is thinking. I'm thinking around the 3-1 or a 3-0. Now remember, it'll be a Thursday night. It'll be at the Emirates, and it will be at nighttime, and it will be a good atmosphere. So the players are going to pick up on that. And I think it has to be a great atmosphere because we do need a decent lead to take to Rome, take to Naples. But what do you think? What do you think then, Mahir? No, he's thinking 2-0 win versus Napoli.
Yeah, I also would love to go with a clean sheet, like we said. Well, I would also like to go with a 2-0, but I'm predicting that it's going to be much tougher than that. So I would say 2-1. No, actually 3-1. I'm going with 3-1.
Let's speak a little bit about Napoli. They have a coach, Carlo Ancelotti, which many Arsenal supporters wanted for Arsenal
A long time.
last year. We wanted us to appoint Ancelotti. He is a very, very good coach. He's a pragmatic coach, very much like Emery. He will set his team out to achieve what they want. They're in a stable position in the league. They don't have to worry about their position. They're not going to beat you. They're not going to catch Juventus, and the third place team is not going to catch them. So they really can just stay where they are, and they're going to get Champions League qualification through the league for them. Um, so they can concentrate on this game and on the Europa League and on winning it. So we don't know if that's a good thing or not. What do you think, Mahir? Is it a good thing that you're just going through the motions in the league, and then you have this big prize called the Europa League that you're just going to concentrate on? Can a team just turn it on when they want to, or do they have to be playing well?
Well, it depends on the team. Exactly what it is. Like you say, it is a good thing for them that they can only concentrate on this. Because, I mean, say for instance, we were also up there and far away from third place and far away from fourth place, which would probably be those three clubs that are battling with us for third and fourth place.
Yeah.
I mean, we would also be able to just concentrate on this game and basically train for it and give our everything because we're so far ahead. I would love for us to just go over players to watch for Napoli because we do know our players to watch, though.
Yeah. Randall says Napoli have great away support, so it is going to be a good atmosphere there. And he thinks they will park the bus in the first leg. Well, it's really, we don't know what is best. If you're a team that's playing tough games like Arsenal in the league, and then you go into the Europa League, almost battle hardened, because we did have a tough game today. Or do you want to be a team like Napoli who's coasting through the league, not playing with any kind of intensity in their league games, and really, really trying to be up for it in the Europa League? I don't know who I would want to be, but it's going to be interesting, you know?
Yes, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what type of Napoli we are going to get. Because if we do get a Napoli that wants to really, they've just decided, okay, even if we lose in the league, we're going to stay where we are. We're still going to qualify, but let's go after the trophy that's available to us. And they could just come out all guns blazing. There's a pun as well. All guns blazing.
Yeah,
like
all
the
guns
podcast.
blazing.
But anyway.
Hey, Matt here, what do you know about Koulibaly? Which striker would match up best with him? Lacazette or Aubameyang? I don't know very much about Koulibaly, but I would think that he would be able to play very well against Aubameyang, so maybe we should pick Lacazette.
I would go with Lacazette because based on what I know, Lacazette is a very physical striker.
Yeah.
He loves holding the ball up. So I mean, even if he isn't going to take a shot, he's going to lay it onto somebody that is going to possibly get through on goal.
Ramsey.
And whether that be Aubameyang, whether that be a Ramsey or a Mkhitaryan, because I mean, I'd love to be biased and say, I want Mkhitaryan to succeed, man. I really honestly want him to succeed because I feel we got a better deal. I know it's not part of the program, but I feel we got a better deal in getting Mkhitaryan over Alexis.
Yeah, no doubt. History will show that. Noe thinks that Aubameyang should start against Koulibaly. I'm kind of thinking the other way around. Noe, start with Lacazette, and then when the game gets a little stretched, bring on Aubameyang. But that's what I think.
Or what you could do is you could bring on Aubameyang and have him higher out their defense
Mm-hmm.
and tire out their players, and then bring on Lacazette,
Yeah.
who's just going to bully his way
Yeah.
through and hopefully get 2 goals.
I think if we're thinking Koulibaly will be able to occupy our strikers and maybe nullify our strikers, then other players need to come into the picture, such as I think it will be played quite well today when he came on, such as a Mkhitaryan or a Ramsey. We need to get some players around Lacazette or Aubameyang to. So London Old School agrees Aubameyang should start. Okay.
Yeah, the place to tire out the rest, the defense, whether it be Koulibaly or any of the other defenders.
Yeah.
And who are these strikers, just by the way, so we can watch out, or any of the other players to watch out for? Because normally I'm informed of these things. It's just I've taken a slight break and not really paid attention to.
Welcome.
I think it's Insigne, if I'm not mistaken.
Welcome, new viewer. If you want to drop a comment in the sections, send us a question. Oh, they're gone again. Anyway, yeah. So no, I mean, I think we shouldn't really worry about this result too much. We have to put this in the rearview mirror and move forward. We've lost our game in hand in the league, but I think we can get a decent result at home on Thursday against Napoli. Um, at home, we're a different animal, which is good for this first leg. I hope we can get our away form better toward the end of the season. So, final comments, my here. We'll sign off after this.
Okay. My final comment to you guys is, like I always say, have faith, keep calm, keep cooling. We love all the support and love that you guys show us. Keep tuning in every Sunday for this podcast with Ray and myself. And hopefully, when we come back, it's a much better result. We'll come off the back of 2 great results. First being at home to Napoli, and the second being I think it's away to Watford, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So next week we will be reviewing, hopefully, a great European night at home to Napoli, where we have just beaten them 6-0. I'll take that, right? I'll take 3-0.
I'll take that any day, all day.
We'll be reviewing a great win from Arsenal in the Europa League for the first leg, and we will be previewing. Is it the Watford game coming up next?
Yeah,
Watford game, because then they only have 3 days to recover till they go to Naples again. London Osco has said the away leg will be a difficult task. In some ways, I'm happy that we have the away leg second, that we can go in search of an away goal. What's vitally important, I know we have said 3-1 some of our predictions. I think to try to get a clean sheet on Thursday, it's very, very important.
London Osco. I'm going to say to you now, that's the most important thing actually, is a clean sheet. Mm-hmm. And if we're going to concede, maybe only concede 1 goal. Yeah. And not more.
Okay, London Old School. See you next time, guys. Onwards and upwards. Come on, you Gunners. I think he's left now. Thanks, London Old School, for coming on. Noe.
Thanks, London Old School.
Noe, we always appreciate your humor. I think one of the best things he said was, first of all, the -2 threw me a little bit, and secondly was the part where we keep El Neni just for the end of the Arsenal videos. I think I'm going to try. I love our regulars. I think I'm going to try to hire El Neni to do some of my videos as well. He might boost my viewership as well.
Or possibly in the future, Raymond, if our subscribers are not shy enough, or not shy enough, then we could possibly have them saying, guys, at the end of the video, subscribe to Arsenal Fans TV,
But I'm so happy Ian came on as well. Noe, Thanks for coming on. Always appreciate you, Noe. You know that. No, I want to say shout out to Noe. He's always the first to see my videos when I post them. He's even dropping comments before I can change the thumbnail. He's even dropping comments. You know. All right, Matt here, my brother. Thanks for coming on. We will let's reconvene next Sunday. Let's do this again.
Oh yes, fantastic show this week, eh?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think next Sunday is episode 14. So we're gotten past the 13 season.
I can't believe how quickly we're moving in the episodes, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it even shocked your co-host. It even shocked me. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Episode 14? Episode 13? My goodness.
Episode 13 now, which has been unlucky. Maybe we should check when the fixtures come out this summer. The 13th week we're going to lose again. Noe, Noe said take care, Ray, and gun the news. Thanks, Noe.
Take care to yourself also, brother.
Come in next week, and we will talk about a 6-0 thrashing of Napoli in the first leg. All right, we're going to sign off for that. We're going to sign off now, am I here? You too. Take care. All right. Keep it Arsenal. Keep it Arsenal. Keep up the Arsenal.